Some managers believe it is their job, their duty to organize team building events for their staff. But do staff actually want to play those team building games and go on all these team building events? And if so, what activities do they actually prefer to perform during such a team building day? Recently, I conducted a descriptive empirical study investigating what employees in a 4-star hotel preferred as team building activities. Using the team building intervention typology described in one of my previous videos, I surveyed 102 employees from a 4-star hotel in the Netherlands and measured their preferences for 11 types of team building activities. Each type of team building intervention was measured with 3 survey items, and employees rated their preference for them on a scale between 1 to 7. Let's take a look at the main results. The preferences for the 11 types of team building activities are shown in Table 2. The team building activity preference that was rated the highest was socializing, whereas the lowest was assessments such as personality assessments or skill assessments. Outdoor fun activities show the highest standard deviation, indicating employees' opinions and preferences for this type of activity varied the most greatly. As this 11-type scale was created on the basis of literature and had never been validated before, I performed exploratory factor analyses to see whether and how the scale may be adjusted and improved. I ran EFAs using principal component extraction with Promax rotations. The KMO indicates that the sample was adequate and appropriate for the EFA. After removing cross-loadings and factors with only one item, the EFA revealed a 5-factor structure. Let's try to make sense of this 5-factor structure. It would appear that work issue analysis, row analysis, assessments, and goal-setting interventions were all perceived by employees to be one of the same general category. This is understandable because all these different interventions are indeed all rather work content-oriented. Although academic and theoretical literature lists them out as distinctive types of team building interventions, employees do perceive them as just one collective group. Furthermore, communication, trust, and cohesiveness exercises are perceived to be of the same general category. Creativity and problem-solving are integrated into creative problem-solving exercises, and outdoor fun activities and socializing remain intact. Using the information from the EFA, I relabeled the main types of team building interventions, and I also reran the descriptive analysis on employees' preferences. The results show that socializing once again is the most preferred team building activity, while outdoor fun is the least preferred. So, what are the main conclusions from this study? First, a lot of managers would say, you know what, my employees tell me that they want team building because when I ask them, do you want to do some team building? They say, yes, we want team building. Alright, so what do they want as team building? The empirical data collected in this study show that what they want is the opportunity to socialize with colleagues. So be careful when you buy into the idea that when employees say that they want team building, they mean they want to do more work-related stuff or go on a dirty, exhausting outdoor obstacle course. Maybe that's what a manager thinks employees want, or maybe that is what an outdoor obstacle course is trying to sell you, but employees actually prefer something else. Second, when it comes to work content-related team building interventions, whether it is row analysis, work issue analysis, goal setting, or assessment sessions, although by definition and according to the literature these are distinct interventions, employees do not view them as such. Employees simply see them as work-related stuff, and they don't really seem to dig it that much. So, in my view, the most important takeaway from this article, from this video, is this. When a manager spends money and organizes a team building day for the employees, if the intention behind that is to please the employees and to increase employee satisfaction, then it is important to understand what employees actually want and prefer as team building activities. And the findings of this article suggest that employees prefer the opportunity to socialize with coworkers. But if the intention of the managers organizing the team day is to actually improve employee work performance, then that's a completely different story. I have another video on the effectiveness of team building interventions based on published meta-analyses, so check it out. But the general idea from that video is that the meta-analyses which have been published do not yet support the notion that team building actually contributes to work performance, especially if we talk about objective, measurable improvements in work performance. So given the fact that most of the time team building essentially is just a soft, fuzzy thing which at best contributes to cognitive and attitudinal outcomes, it is important we do it right in order to make employees feel happy about it, because that's the whole point of it. Otherwise, it's just gonna be counterproductive. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.